In this video, we're going to start the Evaluating Expressions worksheet. This worksheet can be found on the KutaSoftware website. Select Free Worksheets and go into Algebra 1. So this is Evaluating Expressions in Algebra 1. So we're going to evaluate each using the values given. For number 1, it says y divided by 2 plus x. So we have to evaluate that expression and use x equals 1 and y equals 2. So x equals 1. That means we're going to take this x value of 1 and plug it in for x. So 1 goes in for x. Where it says y equals 2, we're going to take that 2 and plug it in for y. So that's going to give us 2 divided by 2 plus x, which is 1. We know from order of operations that we're going to do divisions first. So 2 divided by 2 will give us 1, and 1 plus 1 equals 2. So the answer for number 1 is 2. Let's go over to number 2. Number 2 says a minus 5 minus b. A is equal to 10 and b is equal to 4. So again, we're going to plug this 10, which is equivalent to a, or a is equivalent to 10, in for a, and we're going to take this b, which is equal to 4, and plug that in for b. So that's saying that this variable a is equal to the number 10, and this variable b is equal to the value or number 4. So 10, because that's a, minus 5 minus b, which we know is 4. 10 minus 5 is 5. 5 minus 4 is 1. So the answer to number 2 is 1. And if you didn't notice, I like to box my answers to separate it from the work. So each of my answers are boxed. Number 3 says p squared plus m. Use m equals 1 and p equals 5. So we're going to take this m value of 1 and plug it in for m. And we're going to take this p value of 5 and plug it in for p. So now instead of p squared, we're going to have 5 squared plus m, which is 1. Now according to order of operations, PEMDAS, we're going to do exponents before we do addition. So 5 squared is really 5 times 5. So if you need to think of that as 5 times 5, go ahead. So it's 5 times 5 plus 1. 5 squared is 25. So 25 plus 1 equals 26. So our answer to this question is 26. Let's move on to number 4. 4 says y plus 9 minus x. Use x equals 1 and y equals 3. So again, our x variable is going to be 1. So x has a value of 1, so we're plugging that 1 in for x in the expression. Y has a value of 3. So we're taking 3 and plugging that in for y in the expression. So now we have y plus 9 minus x is 3 plus 9 minus 1. 3 in for y, 1 in for x. 3 plus 9 is 12 minus 1. 12 minus 1 is going to be 11. So for number 4, our answer is 11. 5 says m plus p divided by 5. M is equal to 1 and p is equal to 5. So our m is 1, so 1 gets plugged in for m, and our p has a value of 5. So 5 gets plugged in for p. So we have 1 plus 5 divided by 5. Order of operations says that we have to do division before addition, so 5 divided by 5 is 1. So we have 1 plus 1, which we know is 2. So our answer for number 5 is 2. Number 6 says y squared minus x, where x is equal to 7 and y also equals 7. So this x is 7, and this y is also 7. So we're going to have 7 squared minus 7. We have to do exponents before we do subtraction. So 7 squared is 49, and we still are left with minus 7. 49 minus 7 is going to be 42. So our answer for number 6 is 42. Let's go to number 7. Now 7 is a little different because instead of 2 variables, we now have 3 variables, but we're still doing the same thing. X is 6, so we're going to put 6 in for x. Y is equal to 8, so we're putting 8 in for y. And now we have z. Z is equal to 6, so we're plugging 6 in for z. So x and z actually have the same value. So we're going to do 6 times 6 plus y is 8. We have to evaluate what's in the parentheses first. So that's going to be left with 6 times 6 plus 8 is the 14. 6 times 14, when you do that out, you're going to get 84. So the answer to number 7 is 84. Number 8 also introduces something new to us. Let's look at it. We have x equals 9, so we're going to plug 9 in for x in the expression. However, we have 2 y values now. We have y and y, but both of those are the same value of 10. We just have 2 of them now. So when we write this out, x is 9, so 9 plus y is 10, plus another y is 10. So 9 plus 10 is 19, plus another 10 is going to be 29. So 19 plus 10 is going to give us 29. So our answer for 8 is 29. Although I want to show you another way to do this. Before we go ahead and plug in the y, let's go ahead and simplify this expression. X plus y is the same as saying 1x plus 2y, since y plus y is actually equal to 2y. So we have x plus 2y. Now, instead of plugging 10 in 2 different times, we plug it in only once. So we're going to have 9 plus 2 times 10. Then we just do multiplication first and get 9 plus 20, which we know is 29. So you can either plug in y immediately or simplify and plug it in only once. Next, we have p cubed plus 10 plus m. Our m value is 9, so we're plugging 9 in for m, and our p is 3. So we're plugging 3 in for p. So plugging 3 in for p, we have 3 cubed plus 10 plus m, which is 9. Now 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So 3 cubed is 27 because we're evaluating that exponent first. Plus 10 plus 9. Let's go ahead and do 27 plus 10 to get 37 plus 9, and 37 plus 9, and that's going to be equal to 46. So 46 is the answer for number 9. Let's do one more and then we'll stop this video there. For number 10, we have 6q plus m minus m. So again, we have m twice in this expression. We can either take the value 8 and plug it in twice, or we can simplify first. Let's go ahead and simplify first. M minus m is just going to be 0. So we're going to be left in our equation with 6q plus 0, which we know to be 6q, because any number or any quantity added to 0 is that original quantity. So now instead of plugging in m, we don't have m anymore. We just need to plug in q. And q is 3. So we're going to get 6 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. So 18 is the answer for our evaluated expression in number 10. In this video, I only went over numbers 1 through 10. In the next video, I'll do numbers 11 through 20, and in the last video, so the third video that completes this worksheet, will be numbers 21 through 26. So stay tuned and go on to the next video, but before you do that, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Continuing on with the Evaluating Expressions worksheet, under the free worksheets in Algebra 1 for KutaSoftware, we're going to go ahead and do number 11. And in this video, we're going to get all the way up to number 20. So this says p squared times m divided by 4. M is going to be 4, so we're going to plug a 4 in for m. And p is going to be 7. So plugging those values in for the variables in the expression, we're going to get 7 squared times m is 4 divided by 4. Now remembering order of operations, we have to do exponents first. So 7 squared is going to give us 49 times 4 divided by 4. Now we can either do multiplication or division. The order for that doesn't matter, but we're going to do division first because 4 divided by 4 is just 1. So we're going to have 49 times 1, which is equal to 49. So 49 is the answer for number 11. Let's go into number 12. 12 says that y is equal to 10 and z is equal to 2. So we're going to plug those values in for y and z in the equations. Y is 10 and z is 2. So 2 is actually going to be plugged in twice. Now in the last video, we would simplify the expression and sometimes combine the variables to start. However, we cannot combine z and z squared together because they don't have the same exponent. If this z on the left also had a squared, then we would be able to combine them and say that we have 2z squared. Unfortunately, it doesn't, so we can't combine them, and we're just going to have to insert 2 in multiple times for this expression. So y we said was 10 minus z, which is 2, plus z squared, so that's going to be 2 squared. Doing the exponent first, we're going to have 10 minus 2 plus 2 squared is 2 times 2. That will give us 4. So now we're going to go ahead and do what's in the parentheses. So we're going to have 10 minus 2 plus 4 is 6. And that 10 minus 6 is going to be equal to 4. So 4 was our answer for number 12. Let's move on to 13. 13, we're going to be plugging in a y, and we're going to be plugging in a value for z. So that's 7 for z and 3 for y. So we're going to have 7 minus 3 divided by 3 minus 1. 3 divided by 3 is within the parentheses, and division comes before subtraction. So that's our first step. So we're going to have 7 minus 3 divided by 3 is 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is within the parentheses. So we're going to have 7 minus 1 minus 1, which will be 7 minus 0. So our answer for number 13 is going to be 7. Notice for 14, we're going to plug the value of 1 into the expression in 2 different places, since there are 2 different x's. And again, we cannot simplify these x's because this x is within a parenthesis, and the division needs to occur before this other x is added. So attempting to combine these will get very messy, and we know the values already, so just leave them separate. And we also have y as 1. So our expression is now 1 plus 1 divided by 2 plus x is 1, so 1. Doing what's in the parentheses first, we're going to have 1 plus 1, which is 2, divided by 2 plus 1. So now we have 2 divided by 2, which is 1, and then we need to add that final 1. This is going to give us a positive 2. So the answer for number 14 is 2. Now continuing on to the next page is 15. For 15, we're going to plug 4 in for m, we're going to plug 5 in for p, and for q, we're going to plug in 3. So let me go ahead and plug those values in now. So 5 minus 9 minus parenthesis 4 for m plus q, which is 3, and then close both sets of parentheses. So we need to do the inner parentheses first. So we're going to start with this 4 plus 3. That's going to give us 5 minus 9 minus 4 plus 3 is 7. Now we need to evaluate what's in the parentheses again. So 9 minus 7 is going to give us 2. So we're going to have 5 minus 2, which is equivalent to 3. So 15 is 3. 16, we're going to plug 5 in for A, and we're going to plug 1 in for B. So we're going to have 5 squared minus 1 divided by 6. Exponents come first, so we're going to evaluate this 5 squared. We're going to get 25, and then minus 1 within parentheses divided by 6. Next, evaluating what's inside of the parentheses, 25 minus 1 is 24. And then that is divided by 6. 24 divided by 6 is 4, because 4 times 6 is 24. So the answer to number 16 is 4. 17, we have the variables h and j. So for h, we're plugging in a 6, and for j, we're going to be plugging in a 4. That's going to give us 6 plus 6 squared minus 4, close the parenthesis, divided by 2. Remembering PEMDAS, the order of operations, within the parentheses we have to do the exponent first. So we're going to do 6 squared, and that'll give us 6 plus 6 squared is 36, minus 4 divided by 2. In this next step, we still have to do what's inside of the parentheses, but addition or subtraction, it doesn't matter which one we do first. So let's go ahead and do subtraction first and do 36 minus 4. That means we're going to be left with 6 plus 36 minus 4 is 32, and that is divided by 2. So still working within the parentheses, we're going to do 6 plus 32, which is going to give us 38. Divide that by 2, and we get 19. So 19 is the answer for number 17. Moving on to problem 18, we have y minus the quantity 4 minus x minus y divided by 2. We're plugging in 3 for x, and we're plugging 2 in for y. Again, y occurs twice, but there's no easy way to simplify this because the y gets divided by 2 at the very start. So simplification, trying to combine those will get messy, so let's just plug in the values since they're given. So plugging those in, we're going to get 2 minus 4 minus x is 3 minus y is 2. Divide that by 2, and that's our new expression. Within the parentheses, we're going to do division first. So we're going to have 2 minus 4 minus 3 minus 2 divided by 2 gives us a quantity of 1. So now in the parentheses, we're going to do 4 minus 3, and then that quantity we're going to subtract 1. So we're going to have 2 minus 4 minus 3 is 1, and then minus 1. So we're going to get 2 minus 0, and that's going to give us a positive 2 for number 18. Number 19 says x cubed divided by 3 minus y. We're plugging in 3 for x, and for y, we're going to be plugging in 1. So this is going to be 3 cubed divided by 3 minus 1. Start with the exponent, because it goes parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. So 3 cubed is going to give us 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. And then we're going to divide 27 by 3 and subtract 1. So 27 divided by 3 gives us 9, and then subtract the 1 to give us 8. So the answer to number 19 is 8. Moving on to our last problem in this video, number 20. We have p plus q, and that quantity squared, minus the quantity 5 minus 5. So p, that's going to be 1, and q as well is 1. So plugging that in, we're going to have 1 plus 1 squared minus 5 minus 5. We're going to do what's in the parentheses first. So we're going to go ahead and do 1 plus 1. And while we're at it, let's combine these two steps. We'll do 1 plus 1, and that's going to be 2 squared, minus the next step would be to evaluate what's inside the other parentheses as well. So let's go ahead and just do that now. 5 minus 5 is 0. So we have 1 plus 1, which is 2 squared, minus 5 minus 5, which is 0. So we get 2 squared, which is 4, minus 0 is going to give us a positive 4. In the next video, we'll finish up this worksheet doing numbers 21 through 26. Remember to like this video if you found it helpful, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, if you need me to go over anything in more detail, please leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. In this video, we're going to do numbers 21 through 26 on the Evaluating Expressions worksheet that you can find on the KutaSoftware website. I'll leave a link below. So let's go ahead and get started. 21 says 12k minus h squared. We're taking this h value of 2 and plugging it in for h in the expression, and then we're going to take this value of 3 and plug it in for k. That's going to give us 12 times k is 3 minus h squared, 2 squared. We're going to do exponents first, so we're going to have 12 times 3 minus 2 squared is 4. After exponents, we're going to do multiplication. So 12 times 3 is going to be 36 minus 4, and that's going to give us 32. So the answer to number 21 is 32. For 22, we're going to take that x value, which is 6, plug it in for x in the expression, and then y is 5, so we're going to plug 5 in for y in the expression. So we're going to have 5 divided by 5 plus 1 plus x is 6 divided by 6. Now in the order of operations, we're going to do division before addition. So we're going to go ahead and do 5 divided by 5, but there's also division over here, so let's do this in the same step. So we have 5 divided by 5, which is 1, plus 1, bringing that 1 on down, plus our 6 divided by 6, which is 1. So the more comfortable you get with order of operations, you will recognize when you can do multiple steps within the same step. If you're still not comfortable, go ahead and do 5 divided by 5 first to get 1 plus 1 plus 6 divided by 6. Then in the next step, do your 6 divided by 6. And then you get 1 plus 1 plus 1. So I just combined 2 steps to get 1 plus 1 plus 1 a little bit quicker. So again, if you're still not comfortable, you can go ahead and do 1 plus 1 first and then add 1 at the end, but I'm just going to do this all within the same step. We're going to do 1 plus 1, which is 2, and then add another 1 is 3. So the answer to number 22 is 3. 23 is 6 divided by 6 plus z plus x minus y. So we're plugging in values for 3 different variables now. So x is 2, y is going to be 5, and z is 6. Writing this all out, we're going to have 6 divided by 6 plus z was also 6 plus x is 2 minus y, which is 5. Division first, 6 divided by 6 is 1, so we have 1 plus 6 plus 2 minus 5. Working from left to right, 1 plus 6 is going to give us 7. We still have plus 2 and minus 5. 7 plus 2 gives us 9, minus 5, which is 4. In problem number 24, we're going to take 3 and plug that in for x. We're going to take 4 and plug that in for y. And we're going to take 4 and plug it in for z. So 24 is going to be 4 minus 4 plus 3 times 4 divided by 6. Multiplication and division come first, so let's go ahead and do 3 times 4. We're going to have 4 minus 4 plus 3 times 4 is 12 divided by 6. Division comes before addition and subtraction, so 12 divided by 6 is 2, so we have 4 minus 4 plus 2. Let's go ahead and work left to right. 4 minus 4 is 0. Plus 2 is going to give us a positive 2. Let's go on to 25. X is 7, so we're plugging 7 in for x. Y is 2, so we're plugging 2 in for y. And lastly, z is 4. Writing that out, we're going to have 2 divided by 2 plus x is 7 plus 4 plus z is 4 plus, oops, forgot to circle that one. So y is another 2. Division first, 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we get 1 plus 7 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. 1 plus 7 is 8. 4 plus 4 is also 8. And then plus 2. So 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus 2 gives us a positive 18. Here I went ahead and added the 1 and 7 together and the 4 and 4 together. That's because all I had left was addition. And addition is so it does not matter the order in which we add. So I went ahead and did 1 and 7, 4 and 4, and then lastly I added that to 2. Now finally we're at our last problem for this worksheet, 26. In 26 we're going to say A is 4, B is going to be 8, and C, which occurs twice in the expression, is going to be 5. Writing that out, we're going to have 5 times 8 times 5 divided by 4 minus 7 minus 4. Now remember, if there's an operation in either the numerator or denominator, that's like having parentheses. So let's go ahead and do parentheses first. We'll do the 8 times 5, and we'll also do the 7 minus 4 in one step, since they're two separate parentheses that are not related. So we're going to do 7 minus 4 and the 8 times 5. So we have 5 times 8 times 5 is 40. All of that is over 4 minus 7 minus 4, which is 3. Next, let's go ahead and do the division. 40 divided by 4. So we're going to have 5 times 40 divided by 4, which is 10 minus 3. Next step is multiplication. 50, and then subtract that 3, and that's going to leave us with 47. So the answer to number 26 is 47. Now again, if you're having trouble combining steps into a single step, please feel free to continue to break it up. I just do this 1 to conserve space and 2 to move the video along quicker. But if you wanted to do the 8 times 5 first and then the 7 minus 4 and the next step, go right ahead. So this concludes the Evaluating Expressions worksheet. And again, I'll leave the link below, but please subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a thumbs up on this video.